Excellencies, distinguished guests, the world is able to gather physically today after over 2 years of the global COVID-19 pandemic. This is an evidence of what can be achieved when countries cooperate toward a common goal. The lessons learned from COVID-19 pandemic should be a foundation for all of us as we pursue strategies toward scaling new heights for the future of humanity. The UN 2030 Agenda provides a pathway to better livelihood. This agenda provides a universal goal and targets for all countries to deliver on a 3 dimensions covering economy, social, as well as environment. Our country's long-term aspiration, characterized by high quality of life for citizens, also mirrors the ambitions of the Agenda 2030. The SDGs have been fully integrated in our national development agenda through the National Long-Term Vision, the Vision 2050, the Medium-Term National Strategy for Transformation, and the related sector strategic plans. Excellencies, distinguished guests, this year's theme of scaling a new height for the future of humanity goes with the 2022 theme of high-level political forum on sustainable development, namely building back better from COVID-19 pandemic while advancing the full implementation of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The recovery process must deliver greener, healthier, more inclusive, and more resilient economies and societies that put the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the goals of Paris Agreement within reach by leaving no one behind. On the recovery front, allow me to share with you key aspects of Rwanda's economic recovery efforts due to COVID-19 negative effects. The government of Rwanda's economic response was driven by the economic recovery plan, comprising sizable fiscal and monetary policy support, economic recovery funds, and a program called Manufacture and Build to Recover, and also a prompt vaccine rollout. And I can tell you that so far, over 60% of our population above 18 is now fully vaccinated. Today, the government of Rwanda is optimistic as recovery initiatives are delivering tangible results. Rwanda is showing promising signs of recovery, whereby it grew by 10.9% in 2021, and it's projected to grow at a rate of 7.2% in 2022. Excellencies, this session on SDGs in action is an appropriate moment for us as a global leaders, both in the public and business community, to reflect and devise strategies to reinforce our commitment and maintain the momentum for the decade for action, 2021-2030. The 2030 Agenda was ambitious and required substantial financial resources which weren't available, especially due to most developing countries. This has been worsened following possible reversals and strain that COVID-19 inflicted on most countries that often led to relocation of most financial resources toward confronting the pandemic. Furthermore, the impact of human-induced challenges toward the delivery of sustainable development, such as impact of climate change and more recently, the geopolitical tensions on global commodity prices, reaffirms the need to refocus on the critical elements of the 2030 agenda, which are people, prosperity, peace, planet, and partnerships, also known as the 5 pieces. This is in addition to the need for enhancing resource mobilization capacities, including tapping into innovative finance, promoting investment in human capital development, championing technology and innovation, and inclusion and equality, as well as mutual beneficial partnerships. The lack of adequate investment in SDGs to date has made many countries vulnerable to economic fallout from COVID-19 crisis. Sustained recovery requires solid foundations, including global cooperation and effective integration of SDGs into national recovery plans of both developed and developing economies. Recovery must also be underpinned by multilateralism and the collaboration between governments, international organizations, international financial institutions, civil society, and the private sector, and draw on international research and innovation to get our shared goal back on track. Excellencies, distinguished guests, as Rwanda, we are committed to working this transformation journey toward achieving the 2030 agenda, domesticated in our national strategy for transformation, as well as collaborate with other countries, especially on the African continent. In relation to SDGs reporting, Rwanda has committed to undertake voluntary country reports that are part of the follow-up and review of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. These provide opportunities for sharing experiences, including successes, challenges, and lessons learned with a view of accelerating the implementation of the 2030 Agenda. The presentation of the voluntary country report at the UN High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development started in Rwanda in 2016. And at that time, our government presented its first VNR in July 2019. In this regard, since 2016, we are hosting the SDGs Center for Africa, an entity that aims at building capacities for all African countries to monitor and ensure they are on track in implementing SDGs. Rwanda is also actively promoting South-South cooperation and peer learning through the Rwanda Cooperation Initiative. In the same spirit, we are glad to host this year's 8th Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development in early March 2022 under the theme Building Forward Better, a Green, Inclusive, and Resilient Africa. The key messages entered in the outcome document, the Kigali Declaration, is a call for accelerated implementation of 2030 Agenda. Rwanda expresses gratitude for all the distinguished speakers of today for their forward-looking ideas. We also thank government and the people of the United Arab Emirates for the organization of this summit and for their warm hospitality. I thank you so much.